Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for dysfunctional families. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tyler, and we're a dysfunctional
Functional
family. There we go.
Tyler, what did we watch?
We watched Encanto.
I will give you Bailey's pronunciation of Encanto. It is Encantato, which is also good. Every time she says it, she adds a different syllable somewhere. There's always one too many syllables, and it's delightful. It's more fun that way. Life's more fun when we add syllables. Tyler, tell me about this movie. Who is it about and for? What's the synopsis?
Cody, is about the Madrigal family, all right, in Colombia.
Colombia. It's two O's. Colombia. Is there a U in Colombia in English? Yes. Is there a U in Colombia in Spanish? No. Why did we change the spelling? You tell me.
Colombia.
One letter. What other country has had their spelling changed by one letter when they get? Normally you go to new language, you change your country. It's like, hey, we're going to completely translate this and make it a different word, all right?
What about USA?
Colombia, US, they're like, how about this? We change one letter for no reason.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Mexico does that to the US.
Here's the thing. In Spanish, okay, let's talk about country names.
All right.
England. In English is England. In Spanish, Inglaterra. Okay? It's totally spelled different. It's got the double R in it. It's got a bunch of extra letters, okay? Germany, okay? In English, it's Germany. In German, it's Deutschland, all right? Totally different, all right? Totally different. Now, once again, Colombia. Why we got to spell it different? We're right there. All right? USA in Spanish, Los Estados Unidos. Whatever. It's just the name translated. All right? Why we got to swap one letter out of Colombia? Why we got to do them like that?
Because, Cody, Big Ink, they got.
We don't do that with any other country. Like literally, I'm trying to think of any other Latin American country that's different. Mexico spelled the same. It's pronounced different, but it's fine. Panama's the same, spelled different. El Salvador's the same. Dominican Republic is different.
Boom.
But that's because it's like words. It's not a name. It's Republic. So you got to put that in Spain. All right.
Republic.
Chile, same. Argentina.
You mean Chile?
Venezuela, Chile, Colombia. What? Why do we do Colombia dirty?
Because here's the thing. Somebody said it, and then they're like, all right, I went to this country. It's called Colombia. And they're like, COLU. And that's where it started. Anyway, it's about a family in Colombia. With magic powers. Is the story.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what it's about.
And there's songs too.
Yeah.
They do singing.
It's fire songs. So good.
Mm-hmm.
Cody, I want you to be prepared. So you need to be ready to hit me with your favorite one of the songs. And you have a favorite. Don't lie to the Colombian.
Colombia. All right. I hear you. So
go. Yeah, you.
Do you have a hot take? Do you have a hot take on this movie?
I have some fun facts for you later, so just be ready. But they're more about Colombia.
Oh, okay. I would love to learn more about Colombia.
But I mean, that's what it is. It's about a family and their magic, and they got like this little. So the Encanto, as the name of the movie, is like the little valley area they live in. That's what they refer to. But Cody, you speak Spanish.
Yes.
What does it mean in Spanish?
It would be an enchantment.
Okay. That's what I thought. But they're like, it's like the making this movie. They're like, all right, we're going to convince all these white boys out there that Encanto means valley or city. Yeah. And it's like, don't do it. They're
this is our Encanto. Yeah. Yeah, they really do kind of throw it out there. I thought I saw somewhere that it was like, oh, it can also kind of be like a term of endearment, meaning something. I don't know.
It's their enchanted home. Yeah. They got those, dual meanings for words. Anyway, there's a casita. They say "Hola casita."
Yes.
That's fun. But I mean, that's the movie, really. It is not what I thought it was going to be from the trailers at all.
Oh, yeah. When the trailer came out, Baylor was like, not excited for that. I mean, am I going to see it? Yes, but I'm not excited.
Same. And then we saw it, and I was like, I love this movie. So good.
Yeah, I mean, they did advertise it. The way they advertised it, it didn't look as good as the movie. Having watched the movie, like,
But I
the
think
advertisement really sold it.
the advertisement might be better at getting kids to want to go see it, though.
Yeah, no, that's true. That is a really good point. And that's all you really need to do with the family movie is like,
Yeah.
if the kids are excited about it, then the parents are going to see it. Also, it's a Disney movie anyway, so it's like, people with kids are going to go see it if they go to movies, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Disney got us by the balls, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And, you know, that's just how we like it. So you were pro Encanto. This was a good one for you?
I like it. I'm pro Encanto. Encanto.
I really enjoyed it. I don't know what to say. It was a good one. It was a good one. I liked it quite a bit. I think I really liked the message. I think that sold me more than anything else. Obviously good music. Obviously it was beautifully animated, but I thought some good messages in there.
Yeah. Plus there's Spanish.
Spanish is fun.
You like Spanish.
That's true.
Have described yourself as Spanish to me multiple times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I do to everyone. That's how I introduce myself.
Yeah. Like to quote a very incredibly white friend of mine, not really a friend's brother, who's the whitest, makes you look ethnic. And I quote, "I am Mexican." Close quote.
Well, I could say the same of myself because, you know, California once was part of Mexico. So,
yeah. Now,
really,
he was from Utah, or maybe not Utah, but not really from an area that was ever. I know he's from an area not ever really from, ever from Mexico.
Yes.
So.
Wow. Sounds like a good dude.
Yeah. He's a good guy.
Wow. Well, is there anything to say to set up this movie? Anything else to say?
No. So Cody, come in, get on this donkey, and then we will be carried by a burro. Get Cody, sit astride my burro, and then I will carry the burro to the burro store, where we will get burros and eat them on our burros as we ride our burros, eating burros into a burrow of Spoiler Town, USA.
Wow. You brought it all together. I love it.
Yeah. Now let's talk about the real elephant in the room here. The fact that in Arizona and much of the Southwest, where there's Hispanic influences, they refer to the burrito as a burro. And I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's hard. It's hard to reconcile.
Yeah. The fact that my incredibly white wife will randomly hit me with some Spanish also disturbs me.
It is disturbing because, you know, burrito, what is a burrito but a small burro? But we've made burritos so large. So what does that say? What does that say about us?
What is a chimichanga but a fried burrito, Cody?
That's true.
And what is a burrito but a small burro? So if you get a large chimichanga, is it not just a fried burro?
That's true. A burrón, if you will. If you'll go there with me. Yes.
I will.
I know. It's a lot to take in, all right? It is a lot. Look, it'll take you, it'll whirl you, twirl you, and hurl you, all right? That's what Spanish will do.
Yeah. So do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I would like to yield my time to you, sir. Please take the floor. Yeah, I'm doing it to you.
Oh, okay. All right. Let me Okay. All right. Are we going? Are we doing this? We doing this?
I've got you. You're going.
All right. So this kid he's drinking coffee. That's way too much coffee for this young child. What is he doing? What? There's no justification for this joke. He just always has coffee and is freaking wired. And I'm like, is that a Colombian thing? There is Colombian coffee. So is that a thing in Colombia? Also, fun fact. I'll hit you with the fun fact in the rant, Cody. You never seen this before. Ubisoft made a game called Ghost Recon's Wildlands based in Colombia. Colombia government came out and said, hey, you guys make us look like a lawless drug dealer haven. And Ubisoft was like, well, yes, we do. That's a fact. Do you contest that? And they said yes. And they're like, well, all of our stuff's based on facts. So, we're not going to change anything because you kind of are a lawless drug dealer ridden nation. And it's true. We're sorry, but it is the true things. It'd be like the U.S. being like, we don't have racism. And France was like, but you do. But you do. All right? Anyway, this kid's got coffee. The little kids, they're so adorable. But they hit this girl with, you didn't get a gift? And then just look at her. And then just look at her. Let her sit in that. All right? Everybody's like, you suck. But she's got a pretty dress, and she's dancing, and she's singing about the town. All right? Let's talk about the sister, all right? Hold on. Don't tell me the sister. Cody, no. Don't. Oh, no. Oh, it's all falling apart right now. Luisa? Luisa, look at me. Yes? Is Luisa the one that I'm wanting? The big girl. Oh, I felt things, Cody. I felt things I didn't think I would feel for an animated character. Did you see her muscles? I just want her to hold me, cradle me, and make me feel safe, all right? When she does, in her song, she does her little hip, bow, bow. She puts her hands up and she goes, bow. And I was like, oh, gosh, no. There's going to be some late nights with just me in that scene, all right, Cody? That's all I'm saying, all right? We're getting in there, all right? You see her muscles? She goes like, oh, she does a little flex thing as she's dancing, and you see all of her muscles in her arm. Oh, all right. Anyway, we're moving on from her, okay? She lifts a church. She lifts a chapel. She just drops it, okay? Anyway, they're all like, you suck, you didn't get a gift. And then her little cousin, he's all scared. It's like, he's adorable. I love his dad. His dad, probably my favorite character. All right, let's talk about him. He's a fun guy, all right? He's telling a story. His wife's like, no. He is married to the rarest of breeds, the ginger Mexican. All right, Cody, you know these ones. You know these girls. You know they can't be trusted, all right? When they're like, you're like, you don't look like you're Mexican, but then you're like, there's so many Mexicans with the red hair and the pale skin. It's like, you are Mexican, though. You're Hispanic. They're not Mexican. That's what's funny. They're Colombian. How dare you, Cody? It's racist for you to assume that all Hispanics are Mexicans. Cody, if I say one thing, I say don't be racist, Cody. Stop it. All right? But this is, this is a good... I brought up the Ubisoft thing because a lot of people are like, oh, you play all these games and stuff based in Colombia where you're like fighting a war against drug dealers? Maybe watch this movie that shows a not that side of Colombia. Colombia or Colombia, whichever you prefer. Do you prefer the country? Do you prefer the clothing brand? Do you prefer the natural gas energy company? It's all different names, Cody. They go through the... let's see, what else did I have? Her little cousin, he's adorable though. He's a cute guy. He's out here. He's a little cute guy. These rats are ratting people out, all right? These rats cannot be trusted. They're going to tell this little creep everything. I wouldn't trust anybody. And then they're like, he shows up to help, all right? He shows up to help. He's like, the rats told me everything. Let's talk about the fact that, spoilers, Bruno, he's in the walls. We're talking about Bruno right now. He in the walls, all right? This girl, she can hear people making plans 10 miles away, and she didn't hear Bruno skittering through the walls. That's a freaking lie, and she's a traitor to this household. She has betrayed the home. She needs to be voted off the island, all right? And she's also a petty little bee, all right? She's like, oh, she didn't get a gift. It's like, mind your own business, Linda, or whatever your name is. Why don't you go do you, all right? Why don't you stay out of this conversation and mind your own dang business? Could you imagine having somebody in your family that could hear you anytime, even whispering to somebody else? That would be a nightmare. That's like, you have to kill that person in your household. You have to get them out of there. You have to banish them to the ends of the earth, or you have to end them. You cannot have those people around, all right? They go there. This grandma, let's talk about this. We all know the judgy grandma. We all know her. Some of us had one, some of us didn't. But we all know one. she's there. I saw this lady, and I was like, this lady is tearing this family apart. I knew it from the second I saw her. I called it. And then she's coming out there. She's all like skittering about. She's got the little grandma
Oh,
shawl.
Tyler, I'm gonna have to cut you off mid-sentence there. All right. Doesn't matter what you were saying. All right, you're done. It's over. Tyler,
But the
I'm gonna
shawl.
need you to do something here. I want you to shut it, and I want you to listen. All right, listen to my word. I'm going. I'm going now. All right, coffee. Look, look, you're out here. You're judging this little boy for drinking his coffee. He's getting his sweet, sweet fix. Do children drink coffee in America? No. Do they drink coffee everywhere else? Yes. All right. Coffee is like leche. It's like sweet mother's milk in Colombia. How dare you? All right. If there's two places coffee comes from, it's Colombia and Ethiopia. Boom. All right. Colombia is like the motherland. Look, you're from Kansas City. Cows are from Kansas City. All right. So steak is the mother's milk of Kansas City, and that would make coffee the mother's milk of Colombia. All right. That's what you don't understand. All right. It's where the beans come from. The beans are so sensitive. They only grow so many places. So they're so tender. They need the right climate. And Colombia is the warm bosom in which the beans can grow. All right. Colombia. I know Colombians. All right. Here's what I know about Colombians. They have the best Spanish. It's the most beautiful, clear Spanish you'll hear. It's delightful. And yes, you gotta be careful, all right? I know some wonderful Colombian families. I also know that I have a friend who married a Colombian girl, and I was like, hey, I have a friend who's going to Colombia. Any travel tips? Like, yes. Don't just hop in any cab because you will get kidnapped, all right? You gotta make sure you're good, like a legit city-run cab company, or you will die, all right? You'll be kidnapped and you will be ransomed. So be careful. So he told me that. He was also like, you understand a word of Spanish, they said. And I was like, oh, really? Here's the thing. I went to Acapulco and I did just fine, all right? I got by great and we were all wearing masks, all right? Because the pandemic happened, all right? So I think I could go to Colombia and survive, all right? So I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm sure he doesn't listen to the podcast. I know he doesn't listen to the podcast, so I'm just going to say that. Nice guy, all right? Just don't go to Colombia. Don't go in the city. Don't go in the look. They could make Call of Duty City Cab Edition, all right, where the game is you get locked in a trunk and you got to get out, all right? That's what I'm saying about Colombia. Delightful people, except for the criminals. But hey, the criminals are bad everywhere, all right? We can't just single out Colombia. But yes, they've got plenty of criminals and plenty of... Look, there's two things that come from Colombia, all right? We already talked about the coffee. It's great, all right? The other thing is drugs. Cocaine is also from Colombia. So it is really, there's a lot of stimulants, just natural stimulants laying around in Colombia. So, maybe it's not their fault their criminals are crazy because it's coffee and cocaine, all right? What a wonderful place. What a blessed land. All right, you talk about the promised land. It's there. It's Colombia. There's cocaine and coffee just falling from the trees. That's what, okay? Look, I don't blame you. All right, the sister's a narc. Okay, you can't have someone whose job it is to hear everything that happens. All right, you're right. That person needs to leave. But she did tell us that she knew Bruno was here because in the song we don't talk about Bruno. She's like, I can hear him right now. She says that. She looks at the camera. She says, I hear him right now. All right, she said that. All right, there was foreshadowing, a strong foreshadowing. And here's the thing: maybe she isn't a narc because she never gave Bruno up. All right, that is love. All right, that is true. Fraternal. What's the opposite of fraternal? Because she's a sister. It's the same thing, right? Is it gender neutral? All right. So I don't know how to feel, all right? Now that I've gone full circle on it, I don't know how I feel about her. This movie is beautiful, all right? It is delightful. The colors, the arepas. Have you ever had arepas? Here's the thing. Everything in Latin American cuisine revolves around corn, maize, all right? Because in Mexico, you've got corn tortillas. In El Salvador, you've got pupusas, which is just the same dough, but you fill it with stuff and you pan fry it. And arepas are basically the same thing, but a little different. Here's what's wonderful about arepas, all right? Imagine it was like a corn tortilla, but there was cheese stuffed into it, and then it's like fried with a little bit of oil, and then you get it and you eat it with coffee or hot chocolate. Imagine, look, it's hot. You get hot chocolate, and then you get a fried cornbread stuffed with cheese, and that's your breakfast. All right, that's why Colombia is an amazing place, because that could be what you eat to start your day: fried cheese bread and hot chocolate. All right, is this computing with you? Are you understanding why it's an amazing place? Chocolate and cheese bread is breakfast. All right, think about that. You don't have to be eating cereal with milk. All right, no cold cereal and toast for you, sir. Warm hot chocolate and cheesy fried bread. All right, doesn't that blow your mind? Are you not regretting every breakfast you've ever had? Fried cheese bread and chocolate.
I'm checking this song, Cody.
Oh yeah, be careful. Don't want to ban us. I'll keep talking so it's in the background. Okay? So that's what I have to say about the movie. All right?
All right.
Are you listening for her admitting that she hears Bruno?
Well, she does say I always hear him muttering and mumbling.
That's
and
what I'm
saying. It
saying.
does show him in the walls when it says that, so...
Mm-hmm.
Maybe she is a freaking filthy little... She let somebody live in the wall. Look, Cody, this movie is The Child, or with a boy. What was that movie we watched?
Yeah, I had that thought. Here's the thing, though. Okay, I'm going to defend the sister that listens. Because also, she was willing to let her love marry her sister for the sake of the family, all right? She wasn't going to poison that relationship, which is sweet but dumb. But that's the point of the movie, too, is that everyone's doing everything for the family, but the family wasn't serving everyone because they were living in fear, all right? They weren't communicating themselves to the abuela. They were just letting abuela dictate everything without considering each other, you know?
Have you ever known somebody who calls their grandmother abuela, and that abuela is not a judgy piece of garbage?
Look, abuelas are narcs. We all know this. You see them in the corner, you see them slinking about, and you're like, it's hard, all right? I'm not going to indict every abuela out there, but I will say I know the stereotype, all right? I've seen it. I've seen the sketchy abuela.
Their little shawl. They all got the same shawl.
Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh. I accidentally turned up my headphones and it was very loud for a second there.
No.
It's all right. We're back to normal, everybody. Don't worry. Technical difficulties have been solved. So you liked the movie, or you just wanted some of the food? Is that what you...
I liked the movie. I liked it a lot. And I enjoyed the music. I thought the visuals were excellent. The thing I enjoyed the most, though, was the message of the movie. All right? We've all got some dysfunction in our family. And so I really appreciated, that was what the movie ended up being about. It wasn't really about her power so much. It was about, hey, we need to come together and be a stronger family, because it's not just about each of us being special, unique, whatever, because that comes with its own set of problems, right? Mirabelle? Oh,
She's that's the main character.
Maribel.
Mirabelle.
Right? Mirabelle. She didn't feel valued because she didn't have the special gift like everyone else had. And then there's the perfect daughter, and there's the strong daughter, and everyone has their niche, but some people feel left out, and they feel too much pressure. And so I really like that the point of the movie was, no, we do love each other, and we can love each other by being supportive of one another and communicating more with one another and understanding what we all need, So I love that. I think
that came out
Disney's
of left
getting
field.
creative. Yeah, well, I don't think so.
For me, it did.
Disney's getting creative, because I appreciate that they spent a century doing princess stories and True Love's Kiss and that whole thing. Yeah. The last few movies they've done have really been about other issues, Moana. It's a princess story about not even a boy, even a little bit, and Zootopia is about society and stuff and judging people and that kind of stuff. And Frozen's about sisterhood, and this one is about family issues. And so I think they're doing a great job telling new and interesting stories still within magical musical formatting. Yeah. So that's what I loved about it.
What I mean by it came out of the field is I felt like by the trailers, right, that it was going to be like this, oh shoot, the magic is dying. Someone has to go on this epic journey.
Yeah.
To find the magic. And it ended up being the epic journey was literally like she just had to kind of chill out and talk to each of them and then come to this realization that magic is dying because Abuela's a freaking bee, all right? That's what's happening. Like, she's making everybody so stressed out, and the magic is based on, like, our unity as a familia. You like that?
I loved it. Yeah, no, you're definitely right. But I appreciate, too, that it wasn't just, oh, Abuela is the bad guy. Because they also redeem Abuela in the end, too. They're like, oh, we hear more about her story and, like, what she went through and...
Which
everyone came together, you know?
Shout out to the movie that everybody's like, look, this shows a good side of it. Colombia being about a group of people that fled the horrible, just nuts situation in Colombia and made like an enchanted forest to live in and were just completely separated from Colombia. Right?
Yeah.
So it's not about like the good side of Colombia. It's about the good side of Colombian culture, not the good side of the country Colombia, right?
Yeah.
So I just thought that was funny where I'm like, this dude got killed with a machete, all right? In this movie that's pointed that so many people are like, see, it's not so bad.
Yeah. Well, leave it to Disney, right? Like they did it with Raya and the Last Dragon. They're like, it's loosely based on Southeast Asia. And also it's like a fantasy world, you know? Like they'll be like, we're just going to take this nice culture and we're just going to separate it from like the actual country or the actual issues or like it's just based on sort of this, you know? Like Coco, they were like, Day of the Dead, we're doing that. We're not. We're in Mexico, but we're not. Because we're in Day of the Dead land, you know?
But also, there's nice places in Mexico.
Yeah, there are nice places in Mexico, but they're, you know, I'm just saying they go general with everything. Where they're like, all right, we're going to extract what we need to make a movie about this, and we're making it in a, what's it called? Vacuum.
Yeah.
That's the word I was looking
In an
for.
Encanto.
In our own little Encanto. So, are you going to ask me?
If you like the movie or not?
No.
About your
Are
fun
we talking about
facts?
the music now? Is it time?
Oh.
You're going to ask me my favorite song?
What, Cody? What was
You're going to be disappointed. All
your
right?
favorite song?
I'm going to tell you my favorite
in
song.
this
You're going to be
film?
like, you're going to shake your head at me. Or you're going to be like, you have no fun. That's what you're going to tell me.
Fine, just lay it on me now.
I like the Dos Oruguitas. I like the little sweet song at the end about the family. That's the one I like. It touched me so gently, caressed me. That's where I'm at. All right? Now do it. Shake your head.
I mean, it's fine.
Tell me I have no fun in my life.
I liked that one.
Okay, what was your favorite?
My favorite was probably the Surface Pressure.
That was Bailey's absolute favorite. Like, she was giddy. She was like, she loved it. I'm surprised it hasn't been playing every morning in our house.
Oh,
I bet if I reminded her about it, then it will be for the next week.
Oh yeah.
So yes,
It's gonna be the top of your Spotify rewind or whatever it's called.
Oh my goodness, Spotify, Wrapped.
Wrapped.
Bailey's #1 song this year. Are you ready?
Last Christmas.
No, that was 2 years ago. How dare you? But also good guess. Magic Dance by David Bowie from the movie Labyrinth.
Yep.
Yeah. Classic.
I've been getting on Tiffany's nerves recently because of Labyrinth, because I constantly
no.
remind her that 90% of Harry Potter is just stolen from Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's like, she came up with some stuff, and I was like, not really.
Yeah.
That drives her nuts.
Oh yeah.
And then I was, I've probably told you this before. Like, can we just take a second to I just want to look, you and me, as the Opinion Havers podcast. Let's take a second. Let's look at all the fans of Harry Potter, all the J.K. Rowling fans.
The Potterheads.
And just look, shake your head slowly in shocked disbelief. How did you not see that she was absolutely, definitely like a racist or something? She came up with new slurs. Like, she's the only famous author that came up, like, invented new races to be racist against.
She's thought enough about racism to just make her own.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's true.
Of course she's intolerant of something. There's no way she's not. Anyway, moving on. This movie's very tolerant.
Yeah.
Except there's no gay couples, Cody. How dare they? Are there gay couples? I don't know. I've been doing the thing where every time I lean over to Tiffany, every time I see a Disney thing with like a gay couple, I'm like, it's because they're inclusive.
What? No, I just saw something that had one in it.
Was it Encanto?
I'm trying to think of what else, because it was something like semi-family oriented, where I was like, oh, there it is. But that's the only thing I've seen recently. Yeah. Or was it? Maybe it was like a Hallmark movie, because that was all that played. I was at the nursing home for my grandpa, and they just play Hallmark movies 24/7. So I've seen like 6 Hallmark movies over the last week.
Yeah.
So that might have been it.
So either it wasn't in there, or they did such a good job of incorporating it in that it didn't stand out to me. Because normally it's like there's the inclusivity stuff. But yeah, I really like this movie. I think, with the exception of like Aladdin, which Aladdin, for those of you that don't know, is my favorite Disney movie.
It's a good one.
This, I would put it almost on par with that one.
Wow.
I put it up there. It's definitely my favorite of the recent ones.
It's the same directors as Zootopia, which I thought was excellent.
Oh yeah, I really like
thought they were really good. But here's my qualm with the movie.
No.
Really is pretty small, and Bailey had more of a problem with it than I did. I loved Stephanie Beatriz, she plays the main character. But it's shocking for me to see her because I know her from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah. And
she plays like deep voiced, really grumpy, mean detective on the team, you know? She wears leather, always wears black, and, you know, never shows emotion kind of thing. And so when you see her, like, oh, her voice is way higher than she plays that character in real life. So that was weird. She was in the Heights, which is the Lin-Manuel musical they just made the movie of. And she's in this. So when I see her talk and sing in real life, I'm like, you're not the same person, which I guess is the mark of a good actress, right? Because it's like, these are very different people. I'm not sure how I feel about her voice, her singing voice, especially for like the solo songs. Like the first song or two she sings, I was like, I don't know if I love her singing voice. And then I think as the movie went on, I'm okay with it, and like the part she played in other songs. But like the songs that she mostly sings, first one or two, I was like, it's okay. Especially for a Disney movie, you kind of expect it to be like, you know, like Frozen is Idina Menzel. So for me, I just wasn't sure if I could quite get into her singing voice. Just the tone of her voice. It's a little bit nasal or a little bit higher pitched, which coming from me, it's, you know, what room do I have to talk? But that was my thought. Was it at all distracting for you, or were you like all in, not even worried about it?
Well, I mean, it was a cartoon character, so I didn't see her face ever.
Right, but also just her voice, not like getting off her playing Rosa Diaz.
It doesn't even sound close to Rosa. Like, so I thought it was interesting that it was her, but like if you had just played a clip to her being like the two people, I'd be like, well, that's two different people. That's not the same person.
Yeah.
But I've also seen her in something else recently.
That character's singing voice, like separate of the actress and everything?
I liked it. It was definitely like, you know how you can tell when it's like, oh, this is a person who sings that we got to do the voice acting versus this is a voice actor that can sing, you know? And she's definitely like an actor that can sing, not a singer that can act. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, I would definitely agree with that.
Like Adele Nazim, as we all know her true name to be, is like a famous singer that they're like, oh no, yeah, she is a
Broadway generational talent.
Like she's widely considered to be a big reason like Wicked is so popular because she's like nailed it in there. So, you know, I mean, they're in a different class. Now, the person that bothered me is Lin-Manuel Garcia, being the writer of the music, because he will always be the annoying brother from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. You couldn't handle him. Wow.
Is Lin-Manuel Miranda? Yeah.
Lin-Manuel Miranda. Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
I switched to
So
Garcia in
it's
my head.
funny because Stephanie Beatriz and then Olga Merediz, who plays the abuela, she also plays the grandma in the Heights. So they're both in that together, and that's a Lin-Manuel piece. Lin-Manuel and Stephanie are both in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and then they're all in this, and Lin-Manuel wrote the music for it. So they're a little trio.
It's just weird that, to be like, oh, that dude that played like a detective in an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine is actually like a famous music
One
writer.
of the great, musical writers of our day. Yeah, and I don't know. I did like the music. It had that Lin-Manuel flavor to it, where it's like, oh, it's a little bit more talking, a little bit more. There's like some sort of hip hop element, a little bit to it. It's not just like Frozen, where it's like, hey, no, this is pretty traditional show tunes kind of stuff. So it was kind of fun to have that. It was like, oh, okay, it's a little different, a little bit updated, kind of newer format.
Oh yeah, I did see something recently that he actually refused to do the music for some movie.
Really?
Recently, I'm trying to find it. I was hoping you would know once I brought it up.
No.
But it was funny because it was like him coming out being like, I refused to do the music for this one. And I was like, did they ask you to do the music for that? Because it's like one that I was like, I don't know if that would go well with your style of music.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think they asked you. I think you just came out like, I won't do it. It was like some like Dune. Like, I refuse to do the music for Dune.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I don't think you were the first choice for that one, man.
Mm-hmm. I am looking on Spotify at the soundtrack to Encanto. Surface Pressure, which you said was your favorite, is the most played song on the soundtrack, followed by We Don't Talk About Bruno. Those are the two big ones. Everything else has a pretty steep drop off. My favorite song, of course, is Not Close to the Top, because I roll like that. All right, I'm going to play a little bit of this just in my earphones.
Wait, did you say the top one was my favorite?
Yeah, Surface Pressure by Jessica Darrow.
Because it's the fire one. All right, so
yeah.
He refused to write new songs for Sebastian in The Little Mermaid. That's what it was.
Oh, is he working on the music for that one?
I think he's writing the music for it. So that's now that I know more about that one, because I thought it was he didn't want to write the music for it, but I'm pretty sure he is doing the music for that, and they wanted him to do new music for Sebastian. He was like, no.
Wow.
Is it a racism thing, or is it he doesn't like Sebastian? Does he have a thing against lobsters? Is he racist against lobsters?
Does he not like Jamaican food? I don't know.
He doesn't like these lobster backs coming up in on him, Mm-hmm. That's a racist term. But it's racist against 18th century British soldiers, so
okay.
I don't think it counts anymore, right?
Probably not.
I'll dig deeper on this while you say something or while you listen to music, and we'll just sit in silence for a second.
I can't do it. I can't listen to the music while anything happens, so I'm gonna give up.
Oh. Well, that's a hard give. That's a hard. It's rough.
Yeah. Do you need a break? You need a quick break?
No. I got it. I'm just Okay. It's just a little bit. It's like him being like he likes the original Little Mermaid too much. He didn't want to like mess with it. He was afraid to mess it up. So it's not a racism thing. It's I don't want to mess this up. It's the same reason Denis was nervous about doing Dune.
Yeah.
I watched recently. I watched a video which actually led me to watching some stuff with Lin-Manuel talking about some of the songs. But it started with me watching Denis break down the opening, like the Gom Jabbar scene from Dune. I highly recommend everybody go watch that. It is incredible. It will make you appreciate that scene so much more.
Which scene?
The scene where like the old priestess lady is like testing Paul.
With the box?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you watched this video?
I might have. I watched someone breaking it down.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And then, Then I ended up watching some videos with Lin-Manuel, talking about some of the songs and like the influences and stuff he was going for with some of the songs, and like how he wanted to not make it like sound just like generic South American or like Latin music. He wanted to really focus on like one of the voice actors for one of the siblings or something or cousins was or several of them are like famous musicians in Colombia.
A lot of the voice actors are Colombian, in some, at least partially Colombian in their descent.
Yeah. Well, some of them are like superstars in Colombia, like rock
Wow.
stars there, and they're like, yeah, we thought it would be good because we wanted to these people super known there, not known anywhere else. We wanted them to like bring show how good they are at singing and stuff, and like looked at a lot of the music that's popular in Colombia right now to pull influences to write music that would sound appropriate for Colombia. Sorry, Colombia.
Colombia.
What? Tell me.
Do
you have any fun facts for this movie? Do you have fun facts, Cody? How dare
IMDb trivia on this movie is a hot mess. Like every other fact is like, this is actually the 13th Disney movie to come out in November and this month. And I was like, these are awful. They were really bad. It is. I think it's the first. I think it's the first Disney movie to have a female protagonist with glasses. That was the most fun fact I saw.
Okay. I read that fact literally as you were saying it, and I was like, "Gosh."
There's not much going for it, so I'd be too disappointed.
Second computer animated Disney film directed by Brian Howard, and Jared Bush.
After Zootopia. It's not. I mean, there are a lot of them where it's like, yeah, it's the first one to have 2 female leads since Raya and the Last Dragon. You're like, well, great,
I see where you get the kids in. I saw exactly where you got the kids in Colombia.
I told you, I've already done it. I've already done the whole thing. Look, put your trust in my arms.
Okay, let's say Dolores also says it's like I hear him now. I can hear him now, which is ambiguous.
That's the other thing. Is like he doesn't talk, right? He's just in the walls.
Okay, Cody, I'm gonna come to your house. I'm gonna live in your walls for a week.
Rats.
You try,
but there's rats in the walls. Okay. So
get the rats out of the walls. You have a child with a superpower to get the rats out of there. All right, get rats. That's unhealthy. All right. All these people out here, like you Americans, you think you know. We do know that rats are unhealthy. Okay, that's what we know. All right, we feel like we've got most of the world on board with this at this point. All right. It's like people like, no, I like the rats. They keep me warm
with
at night.
pet rats. All right, they're gentle souls.
All right, Cody, I want you to go over to your friend's house. I want you to just, without any warning, shove your hand into the rat's cage. All right? Tell me how that hand comes out of that cage.
I think it's actually going to go pretty well.
Oh, well.
They're so cute. They can do tricks.
Okay, since we're talking about it, Tiffany wants to get her bunny, and I tell her no every time.
Oh, that's a mistake, yeah.
I was like, I don't want you getting your finger bit off. She's like, well, I had a bunny. And I was like, did it bite you? She said, yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was pregnant at the time, and that's why. And I was like, that bunny didn't know it was pregnant.
What?
That bunny didn't know. That bunny doesn't care it's pregnant. It's going to eat those babies. And then she said, no, and that's the thing, Cody. Yes. It will eat the babies.
Yeah, it will.
How do I know this? Ask me, Cody. Ask me.
How do you know that it'll eat the babies?
My mom raised rabbits, and they would have to separate the mom and the babies because the mom will try to clean off the babies, but the baby's skin's so delicate, she'll tear open their skin, and it'll bleed everywhere. And the little rat brain in that bunny is like, I have to save the babies from eating this baby, so I'm going to eat the baby. And it'll eat the baby, and then it'll be like, that was delicious. I'm going to eat the rest of these babies. And then you have to kill that rabbit because it's just going to eat it. Now it only wants to eat rabbit. It becomes carnivorous.
That's interesting. I've heard something similar with hamsters. Like it's really easy to make hamsters carnivorous.
Yeah.
You can feed them meat and they'll be like, this is what's up. It's really easy to make like carnivorous hamsters and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. Rodents are wild.
They're freaking dirty little rats. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I did suggest, I was like, why don't we get a rat? She didn't like that. She was like,
Wow.
we get a mouse. And I was like, I don't want a mouse. They'll escape, and you're never going to find that mouse again.
Yeah.
She made me kill a mouse once in her apartment. I had to smash it to death, Cody.
That's sad.
With an ice hammer. Like a meat tenderizer / ice hammer thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With the spikes on it. I don't.
Yeah.
It died instantly, but it continued to twitch for a little while. But I mean, like, its insides they were gone, Cody.
Oh, this is taking a dark turn.
You know, though, Cody, if we had what's his face, it wouldn't have been an issue. All right, that's all I'm saying.
Bruno?
Not Bruno.
Oh.
Not Bruno, you fool. We don't talk about Bruno, Cody.
The rat catcher from Suicide Squad.
Exactly. If we had... Okay, all right, I just remembered something. Let's talk about Far From the Tree. How adorable was that tiny raccoon, since we're talking about rodents? Did you see it in the...
Yes.
Yes, now it's there. Oh, and see, it had a similar message to the movie, Cody, because the mom raccoon was taking the little baby, the girl baby raccoon, so much cuter than her baby. Okay, it's sad to see when a person is cuter than their baby. All right.
I can't believe they went so hard. It was hard pulling at your strings. I've never had a animated short before a Disney movie just be like, here you go, enjoy this.
I
cry now. Don't cry with all these adults in the room. Yeah, no, they really went for it. Because, like, it wasn't even like, oh, this is, like, a fun one. It's like, no, it's all, it's a cute little critter, but look, it's going to die, you know? Its mom is being mean to it, you know? Like, it was one of those. And it was just like, oh, no, I'm not ready to, like, relive all the traumas of my childhood in this theater next to my family, you know?
Oh, yeah. But then that raccoon learns, wait, I'm just perpetuating this cycle of hate for your parents.
So
I need to break it.
Right. Yeah, I've got to communicate. I've got to help show the child why. And, you know, here's the thing. This dude said, who I can't remember who said it, tell me why I should do something and I'll move heaven and earth to make it so. You know, that's how I feel. Like, if you're a parent and you're just going to be like, don't do that, I'm going to whack you. You know, you're like, well, you're not teaching them why they shouldn't do it, you know?
Yeah.
You got to explain something. If you know the why, if you know the pure reason why, and it's a good reason, then you're going to do it. Probably. Yeah. I mean, right, everyone has their own free moral agency and choice, but in general, teach someone the right reasons, and they'll do good.
That's why the best parents you'll ever see are the, you know, the 20-something-year-old white lady in the Target saying, now Cameron, as their child is slamming their face bloody on the floor. Cameron, we discussed this, remember? That's the best parent in the world, right?
That's true, yeah. Yeah.
That child is going to go to school and his teachers are going to call Child Protective Services because they're like, your parents beat you. And they're going to say, yeah, they do. When in reality, it's just them smacking their face on the tile at the Target.
Yeah.
But, Cody, they discussed it.
Yeah, that's true.
They did discuss.
Yeah, my favorite are the Mexican parents that are just like, what are you doing? You're going to kill yourself. Good luck. You know? Like,
have you seen...
The saying is, te vas a lastimar. Like, you're going to wreck yourself, so... yeah.
Which,
so that's a good one to use.
I guess in the vein, to shout out to Disney for not going full stereotype and having somebody whip us, like with the mom whip a sandal at somebody. Sandal.
The chancla. What movie did they do the chancla in? Oh, Coco. Coco did the chancla, so I bet they pulled it out of this one. They're like, well, we can't.
I did recently see a video of like a bunch of like, it was like a full on brawl in the middle of the street in South America, and like this old lady, like, you know, the kind where she can run but her feet can't move more than like this far, so she's really just shuffling real fast. Yeah. Shuffles into the fray and everybody just scatters, and then she like whips around and hurls a sandal at one of the guys as he's running. It is so funny.
Man.
And they're like, the power of the chunkla. It's so funny. Oh, but
Oh man.
I did like so like, I mean, I did like how the opening thing kind of fit, like the little starter thing, which I think honestly, I think that one they always get nominated, but I think that one's definitely getting nominated for like the short Oscar because I liked it. I
Well,
thought it
yeah.
looked pretty.
Yeah,
But
they're always up there.
um, I liked how like they made it out, like oh man, oh there's something's gonna kill the magic, and then it ends up being Abuela, and like you go through this moment where you're like, oh Abuela sucks, freaking get her out of here, get her out, we hate her, and then they have that moment where it's like she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm like so strict, I'm just I'm like terrified of losing this because we lost everything once, and I don't want to go through that again, and that's
Yeah.
why she is the way she is, and then you're like, oh, Abuela, come here. I'll hold you. I'll make it better. I'll protect you.
Yeah.
It's like, dang it, Disney, you made me like the villain again. Nobody, I
Right.
hate it. I hate it every time. It's freaking Disney fools. Like Bruno sucks. We all hate Bruno. Oh, Bruno's a nice guy. He's just living all. It is the boy though, right? It is. It is though. It is. It's
100%.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the little rat theater.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really great. I thought it was just a wonderful moral, a different kind of way to tell the story, and yeah, no, for me that just it raises the movie so much. You're like, oh, there was like a clear, like really potent lesson in this movie.
Yeah, and it
Really
showed
great
you
job.
you don't need to like go on these like I like that. Well, like I said, I thought there was gonna be this big grand adventure where it's like each of her family has to use their powers to help her or something. But because they like showed like the sister fighting Cerberus, in the trailers,
Yeah,
and it turned out to just be part of the song of like her talking about how stressed she is because she's the oldest sister, so she's like the oldest daughter of the oldest daughter, or I guess they're twins, but the oldest daughter,
right.
or were they triplets? Yeah, they were triplets, and Bruno's the brother.
Yeah,
But she's like the oldest of all the third generation, and like kind of expected to be the next the head of that age group, and she's like,
yeah,
oh gosh, not and being the strong one. So I'm sure like because they deal with some heavy stuff, so I'm sure like she knew what happened to her grandpa, and she's like, if something happens, like I'm the one everybody's gonna come run behind, hide behind.
yeah. And can we talk about how lazy the whole town was? Because they're like, oh, hey, I have to move my fridge. Can you do it? Oh, like everyone, no one solved their own problems when it comes to heavy things. Like, and she was busy all day. I was like, you guys make some tools, fix some of your own problems. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but also at the same time, like you see there at the end of the movie when, like like the abuela's like, oh, everything's fine, we're fine, everything's fine. Don't leave us alone, and like slams the door shut. And then they finally are like, all right, no, we're a family, we can get through this together. We don't need powers to get through this. And then the town's like, yeah, so we've been like if you guys have been like, hey, we need some time off, we'd be fine. Like we're a self-sufficient community. Like
Yeah.
we could go a day without you guys and help you rebuild your house. You just had to ask for help. So it fed into that whole like communication. Like they've viewed themselves as like having to support this community when the community was like, no, like if you guys need something, we're here to do
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
can. But it is a little bit like, when there's a family of superheroes in your city, that's like, do you need anything heavy moved? And you're like, I mean, I guess.
Uh-huh.
And then they're like, I can't do it anymore. I'm dying. I've lost my power. And you're like, well, I mean, like, I could have moved the fridge. You asked if I needed something moved, and I said yes.
Yeah.
I could have done it without you or helped you move something heavy. So I did like that moment where even like the whole town comes and helps them rebuild the house, and that's when like the magic comes back, was when they were a family and the town, like the whole community came together again, and that's when everything came back.
Yeah.
And then they're like, but then you're Mirabelle, right? And they've all got their room, and she's like, B, this is my house.
Mm.
There's an M on the door for the house.
Yeah. And you guys can't come in. That's what I would have said.
Yeah, and then you slam the door shut.
Exactly, yeah.
Flip them off through all the windows. But she was like, I did like her she had the attitude of like trying to just be happy for being a part of the family. And it was really kind of everyone else tearing her down, being like, oh, you're not special at all. You suck. Anyway, love you, sis.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're all bad people.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then you see where that attitude came from of like, that originates with the grandma who saw this prophecy of she's going to kill the magic.
Yeah.
Or that's how she interpreted it. And I liked that whole thing of like Bruno being like, I didn't mean any of this stuff that way. You guys just
I like the one where he's like, I didn't see that in a vision. I just saw, I know my sister well, so I knew she was having this problem. And so.
Oh, yeah, like with the.
So I shared, some things, yes, I saw in visions. Other things was just me talking, that was just me noticing things. And.
Yeah, but they all just sort of like, oh no, and he had this reputation for his prophecies always being awful. And he's like, dude, they weren't always awful.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I thought it's something.
I like her point when she's like, you never left. He's like, what? I left my tower and all those stairs.
Yeah.
How would that feel? Like everyone else gets these magical rooms and you open it and you're like, so I get a ton of stairs.
It's like a big chore every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just love that the movie applies to everyone because to some degree or another, like every family has their issues and their dysfunctions, and I think it really wants people to be open and be able to come back together with their families,
Yeah.
It's something we all need.
I definitely feel that. I feel like it's the first Disney movie in a long time where I've felt like that was a good message and not just like that was a good animated movie.
Right. It is a different kind of movie. I'm trying, like you brought up the point where like, yeah, there was no big adventure. It was all just there. It was it was a movie about navigating family dynamics, but it wasn't boring and the music was great and I was happy to watch it and I would watch it again.
There wasn't even like a villain, like a bad guy.
Right.
Or any kind of antagonist. It was just like
in so many ways is more true to life because it's like really everyone's just trying to do what they think is best, and sometimes their approach isn't quite right, and sometimes it comes off harmful. And like Abuela didn't mean to harm anyone; she was just trying to protect the family, but she was just doing it in overprotective, like an overbearing kind of way, where it's like, no, you're not taking into account everything. You're not weighing, you're not being. No one's able to be open with you because you're so stringent in like what your expectations are.
Yeah, like I think one of my favorite interactions, right, was with the perfect sister, where she's like, she's like, oh, I don't want to go hug her, like, it sucks, like you're the perfect sister, you get everything you want, and then the sister being like, yeah, I'm the perfect one that has to always like do the perfect thing, and I can't stray out of this tiny little narrow path that they've set for me.
And I like that it was. I did like the thing with the engagement. She's like, I was getting engaged to that guy for the family. Like it was not what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And her kind of being like, Mirabelle, you purposefully sabotage, things for me, and that necessarily isn't the case. And so, yeah, it's a really cool thing to do with the movie.
Yeah, and then have like just the only thing I didn't like was I didn't feel like there was a resolution with the oldest sister's thing. It was just, but it was funny that she was like having this breakdown throughout most of the movie in the background.
Yeah.
She's like losing her strength, but still, because she's still huge. Like even as a normal person without superpowers, she could probably still lift way more than a normal person. But like her like struggling to lift a piano up the stairs and then being like, and I'm like, I couldn't lift a corner of that piano because that's like an old timey solid piano.
Yeah.
just having her meltdown, which was funny, but I did feel like she was one of the few that didn't have like some kind of resolution in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But I stand by the fact that my favorite character was it Antonio? It was no, Antonio's the little guy. It's his dad.
Yeah, he was awesome.
I like that's like the we don't talk when he's like no class allowed. That's like my favorite line of the movie.
Yeah.
It's just him like his wife saying something, he'll be like no, yeah, and like just agreeing with everything she says. And I was like,
yeah, I really did enjoy him as well.
I also appreciated that every single time Maribel's dad comes into a new scene, he's always been stung by bees.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where are all these bees? And Tiffany pointed out, there's a lot of flowers. And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's a good point. And he's just dealing with it for his daughter, like everyone else. He's suffering for his family.
I feel bad. I don't know if there's much more for me to share about this movie. I would like really recommend it. I don't know. Thinking about it, what score would you give it?
I'd give it an A, personally.
I guess maybe I would give it an A minus. Maybe.
I think this is one of the Disney movies that's gonna it's gonna stand up. You know, like I think this one will join the classic Disney lineup, personally.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Whereas most of them, I feel like don't reach that level. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you got like your classics, you know, and then you got the new ones, and then every so often you get one that's like Frozen isn't necessarily the best movie, but it has like cemented itself as like it's one of the big ones now. Like you got like Lion King, Aladdin, Toy Story, Frozen. Right. I think this one has the potential to join that crew. The crew.
Yeah, and it did pretty well. The tomato meter is 90%. The audience score is 93. So can't really complain. I did see it was a little bit lower on IMDb though. I was kind of surprised when I saw it. It's like audience score is 7.7, which I thought was kind of low. Oh no! Because yeah, I feel like it should have been higher.
Yeah, but you know, can you really trust IMDb?
I mean, no.
You're right.
It's people on the internet, you know.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see the Metacritic on here. Is it not on IMDb anymore?
Man, I'm trying to get it had a little thing of like meet the family, so I actually see all their names. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
It's here we go. Louisa is the strong one, Cody.
Yeah, I also saw they had to really fight to make her like big and muscular for the character design. Like there was a lot of pushback for that, I guess, but
I loved it.
They were able to prevail. Yeah, I'm glad they did it. Because that's also part of inclusion, right? Is like have a strong buff lady. You know, normally you wouldn't see that in a movie, a Disney movie, or if you did, it would be like, you know, it's like not that it's Disney, but like Shrek, where it's like, oh yeah, no, it's like the big burly stepsister that everyone thinks is ugly. You know, you're like, where that would be the version of it. So
yeah,
I appreciated that she was bulky but pretty. You know.
Yeah.
Is there anything else to say?
No, I mean I feel like we covered the movie and everything.
Here's what you do.
You know, oh, yeah.
You go. You see this movie with your family. Go out to dinner, and you just hash it all out. All right. You just lay everything out on the table. You dig up all the dirt you've got. You put it on there. You have a reckoning with your family. That's what this movie's for. And what other movie is good for that? You know, it's really unique in that way.
Cody, I'm
an airing of grievances, you know, Festivus kind of deal.
There you go. If I'm honest with you, Cody.
Yeah.
Part of the reason, or one of the things I thought of when I was watching this movie, and part of the reason why I was like, Cody, we need to do this movie, was I want Bailey's family to do a movie night and watch this movie. That's what.
Oh no, you don't. Oh, yeah. You do.
I don't want to be there.
I will not be there.
I don't want to be there. I just want to hear about it afterwards.
Oh man. Yeah, I'm not. We're not there yet. You know,
Well, you got a little bit of time before the movie comes
give
out.
it 30 years, and we'll try it again then. But if there's
So
anything
Cody,
this movie
that's how
teaches
they
is
lost.
that you can't wait 30 years to deal with your
Yeah,
problems because they're just gonna build. Yeah.
yeah. Like if they had gotten all this cleared up before they were all had kids, like when it was just the three children, and they'd be golden. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
None of this would have been an issue. Maribel would have a superpower. All right. Her superpower was listening, Cody.
Yeah. So the listening sister really dropped the ball in her department because
Yeah.
that
So
was
she did
literally
kill
her
the
power.
magic.
Oh man. Wow. Well, thank you for listening. You can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or wherever your podcasts are found. You can yell right on at us. You can have an airing of grievances with us at Opinion Havers, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. And until next time, watch movies.
And have opinions. When Luisa's dancing during her song, it's like, because I started out when she's doing her little talk sing thing. At first, I was like, oh no. We went from classic Disney, like, oh, it's pretty and fun, to this is about to be Into the Woods. And then she's dancing, she's singing, and I was like, this is the best. So good.
Tyler, do I need to leave the room right now?
No. You stay. You watch.